Alright, every single Mario Kart 8 Deluxe track ranked. This is 80 tracks. It's gonna take quite a bit of time. I'll try to go as fast as I can with each course. It's probably gonna still take well over half an hour, but if I manage to cut it shorter than that somehow, I'll be impressed. Lots of hot takes in this one. So don't get offended if your favorite track is an F tier, or if a track you despise is an S tier. This is my opinion. No need to get butthurt. With that being said, we are starting immediately with a hot take as the worst track in the game, in my opinion, by quite a sizable margin, is Excite Bike Arena. Oh my god, I cannot tell you guys how much I hate this track. It's so bad. It's just a big fat thin zero where you go up the track tricking for 20 seconds straight, and then a turn, and then you do the same thing again, and that's the track. The gameplay is so boring. Like, I don't understand how people enjoy this track. I swear, every single time this thing shows up in the roulette, at least half the room is picking it, and I don't even know why. You think that retro music style is good? Because it's kind of mid at best for me. Like, this gameplay, it's so boring. Like, it all just comes down to whether you can pull a mushroom or a star or whatever at the end to do the shortcut. And good luck catching up to first place normally, because it's not really many ways to go faster on this track. Hate this course. Easily the worst in the game. Alright, now coming in at 79th place and the second track in F tier, we have Amsterdam Drift. This course, oh my god, I do not like this course either. It's already quite a bit better than Excite Bike since, you know, it's actually a track, but oh my god, I think this track is so ugly. The song, like, annoys the crap out of me. Like, it's so boring. Like, you spend half the time underwater in a city track. Like, what? And it just has you randomly transitioning from, like, the city to the fields and stuff. Like, oh my god, I can't. This is another track. It's just a personal vendetta of mine. I can see, at the very least with this one, why people like it, but not my cup of tea. And another very popular track that I am putting in the F tier is Animal Crossing. Oh my god. I don't get the hype around this one. It's quite similar to Excite Bike. So many people pick this one, and at least it has the 4 different seasons, but I think it's just a very boring track with very, like, unfun gameplay, and I don't know, I think all of the seasons look like crap. So, this is another personal vendetta, and while we're here, I'm gonna just let you know, F tier is the courses I hate. There's only like 2 more after this. D tier is courses I don't really like and don't really care for. C tier is just the courses that I really just kind of don't care for. They're not bad, just not my thing. And then B tier and up are courses I would like actually pick if they showed up. Like the B tier tracks start to get pretty good. A tier is really good, and S is, you know, the best of the best. So that's how this tier list is organized. There's only 2 more tracks in F tier, and Sunshine Airport is next. Oh my, this track gets on my nerves so much. For a track that's based off an airport, you really spend a lot of time in the airport. No, you don't. You spend most of your time about the planes by the airport, and then for some reason, it's like, oh, let's send you to the sky and have, like, the sound effects get muted by the trash-ass song. Like, the gameplay on this track also is just so annoying. It is so easy to get stuck on, like, the plain tires or whatever. Like, it's like so, like, the ending shortcut is like one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. It's kind of cool going over baggage claim, but like, what? Another track I just can't, I can't. And so if this F tier hasn't already been hot enough, considering this, I looked at the community ranking on this list, this was the #1 track. It was at the top of the S tier, and I have it as my 4th least favorite. So, yikes. And rounding out the F tier, it is the second of the Booster Course Pass tracks on the list. It is Merry Mountain. Talk about a track with boring gameplay. That is basically my only huge gripe with this track, other than, like, yeah, the boring gameplay, and I just don't think it really looks that great. Like, I don't know, like, that, the last turn into this big fat straightaway, like, what? It's kind of cool climbing up the mountain, but, oh my god, I rage way too much playing this course, man. Like, these, like, the thing about these tracks is, like, I can see why you like it, except Excitebike, but it's just a personal thing for me, the tracks in the F tier. Like, I just can't stand the course. Like, I can at least understand why you think, like, Animal Crossing, Merry Mountain, stuff like that are, like, pretty tracks. Like, that's just your thing. For me, no. And that is it for F tier. So, every other track in the game is at least bearable for me. So, yeah, and we're gonna start off with Sweet Sweet Canyon. Like, oh my, this course is just, it's kind of a vendetta, but like, at least I like the design of the track. I hate playing it, but I think it looks really good. That's kind of, like, I like the splitting paths with, like, the peppermint or whatever, the lollipop road, and the ending shortcut's pretty cool. I just think the gameplay is so bad that, like, it brings it down so much for me. Like, oh my. And now we come to 3 tracks that are ranked next to each other for the same reason. So I'll just go ahead and get them out of the way now. We have Mario Circuit, wherever that is, just the base Mario Circuit. I'm blind, I can't find it. Well, it's also GBA Mario Circuit and Donut Plains 3. Here's Mario Circuit. Bless me. Yeah, these tracks are all kind of down here for the same reason. They're just boring. Like, at least they're bearable to drive, but the design is just very standard, and, like, yeah, like, I don't think I really need to say, like, Mario Circuit's just, yeah, it's just a Mario Circuit. GBA Mario Circuit is basically Mario Kart Stadium during the day, it feels like, and Donut Plains 3, like, it's kind of both. At least the gameplay, though, is a little more interesting. That's why it's the top of these 3. So, and now we get to Berlin Byways, and the start of my rant about the blind turns with the stupid arrows that these Mario Kart Tour city tracks come with. Amsterdam Drift kind of has them too, but I didn't even bother to mention it because I had too much other stuff to talk about with that shit course. But Berlin Byways is full of them. Like, oh my god. Like, the same thing can go for the next course that is going to be talked about, which is Paris Promenade. A lot of the Mario Kart Tour city tracks are not my favorite. There's a couple that make it in the tiers of B or higher, but the arrow mechanic with the changing, it just pisses me off so much. If, like, I didn't play Mario Kart Tour, like, at all, so these courses are basically new to me, and the first time I raced on all 3 of these, I was losing to the CPUs because I kept running the wrong way because it felt like it was changing every second. Like, oh, that is the sole reason that these 2 tracks are in D tier. I just hate it so much. Like, God, it's so annoying. Like, the music for these 2 tracks is pretty good, but the blind turns just annoy me so much. Like, oh my God. Yeah, D tier for those 2. Oh, and in case you did not know, which you probably didn't, but the criteria that I've been basing these picks on is gameplay, which I've already ranted about, aesthetic, and music. Music is the least important and the most important category at the same time. Like, you can't have a good Mario Kart track without a good Mario Kart song. But I digress, as these 2 do have good songs, but the turns! Okay. Taking a completely different direction, we have Bone Dry Ruins for the next spot in D tier. Bone Dry Ruins, it is just so ugly. Like, it is a unique take on a desert-themed track. I will give it that in a heartbeat. But I do not think this one hit for me. It's just, it is very, like, murky and gross, and the gameplay isn't anything spectacular. It's just, the song's pretty good, I'll give it that, but I don't know, it's just a very bland track. It doesn't do too much terribly wrong, but it does not do anything good. I will say that. A similar reasoning goes for Cheap Beach. It's just a pretty generic beach-themed course. Really nothing special, nothing that puts this one over the top for me. It's just a pretty boring track. And that goes for it on the DS as well. Both renditions are kind of just unspectacular. And continuing with our water theme, we have Water Park. Another pretty basic course. It's in the first cup of the game, so it's meant to be pretty simple and straightforward. But when you're comparing it to everything else, it's kind of just meh. I think it does a pretty cool idea with the anti-grav, but like, just pretty boring, and like, I don't really have too much to say. Like, that's how you know it's a couple. I can't even remember half of the remotely cool things about these because they're just so boring. All right, now we have a track that is a complete clusterfuck, Yoshi Valley. Yeah, your gimmick is having like 30 different ways to go, but at the end, you all just get spit out on that one U-turn, and then that egg is completely RNG, and you can lose races because the egg is blocking the exit right when you're about to go. Like, it's making me stutter how infuriating this track is to me. And if you don't get a good item for the end, half the fucking room is gonna pass you with the insane off-road shortcuts that are at the end. So, pretty bad recipe of a course for me. It is a D tier track. And the last of the D tier tracks is where my mouse is right now, Cloud Top Cruise. I just do not like this course. Like, I think it's kind of ugly. The lightning bolts make me want to kill myself. Like, there's just it's just a big, long, unremarkable course. Like, there are some other sky-themed tracks that are way better than this one that I would way rather play. You will never catch me picking this course on a roulette wheel. Alright, now we are heading into by far the largest tier, the C tier. The tracks that I just don't really care about. Nothing that I don't like. Just kinda, it's kinda just whatever. Starting with SNES Mario Circuit 3. The only reason this course is going in C tier is because it is a classic. Otherwise, I could have very easily lumped it with these courses. It's just a basic track, but at least this one is OG. It's got the iconic song, and that's kind of all you need to at least survive the dumpster fire tiers. Like, not really much I can really say. It's just a classic track. And now we go to Peach Gardens, a track that has been in, what the hell? That has been in 3 installments of the series. Maybe it was in Mario Kart Tour, I don't know, but never was a huge fan of this track. Like, it's got some pretty cool gameplay with the chain chomps, and I like in this game how you go backwards on the final lap. That's pretty cool. But I don't know, just the design, like everything about, like the song, everything about this course is kind of just like a meh for me. So Peach Gardens doesn't do anything wrong. It's just doesn't have a lot of upside. Now we go to Calamari Desert. It's just a very bland desert course, but at least it's got a train. That single-handedly puts it at a D tier. I despise the absurd shortcut at the end. I think that is just bad design. And I also hate how the tunnel is mandatory instead of being an Easter egg this time. Like, why? Like, the tunnel was so cool, and now you just have to go through it and probably get bumped into a train. Like, why? So, yeah, Calamari Desert is pretty mid, along with Dry Desert. Yeah, I think you're starting to notice that I'm not a huge fan of desert-themed courses. There are some throughout the series that are great, like Dry Desert. Not Dry Desert. Dry Ruins. Those courses are good desert courses. And this course used to be great on the GameCube when you would watch the spiky thing eat you by going in the pit. And now it's just so boring. And there's an absurdly broken shortcut at the end. So, it's basically the same thing as Calamari Desert. It used to be cooler, and they took away the thing that made it cool, and they have a broken shortcut at the end. C tier. Alright. We got Moo Moo Meadows. Moo Moo Meadows is just a pretty generic course, but it has cows, and cows are cool. And at least it's got some engaging gameplay elements. Nothing great. I do really like the graphical look of this track. Like, it really just looks like almost like real life. It is really cool. But that's kind of the biggest props I could give to it. Nothing really else. So it's gonna be in C tier. And now we have quite a hot take incoming. Oh boy. The next track in C tier. Oh boy. Yoshi's Island. I don't get the hype around this course. It has got severe excite bike syndrome, where half the room is picking it every single time, at least when it shows up. Like, you like the saxophone style of the song? Like, I don't know, it's just kind of, I don't think it looks very good. Like, there's not a lot of cool aspects about the gameplay. You kind of just hope someone hits the shortcut cloud for you, so that you can take it. And if you miss it yourself, and then you're already on the bottom and everyone else gets it, like, what the hell? I think it would be so much cooler if the shortcut only appeared for you if you hit it. So that way, you have more people trying to fight for it, and you don't get to help everyone else out by hitting it yourself. I think it's just kind of not very... like, I don't hate the course, which is why it's not D or F tier, but I think it's just the hipster in me that really just doesn't like it because of how popular and it is, like, but it's not just that, like, it's for the other reasons I said, but I don't know, not my cup of tea. And now, another pretty hot take coming in. It is our first Rainbow Road track, and it happens to be the newest one. This is by far my least favorite Rainbow Road in the entire series. Like, I like having hard tracks in the game, and you will see later on in the list hard tracks that are good, but especially on like 200cc, this course is just unfair. Like, some of those turns are like impossible with certain vehicles, and it just does not feel like the user has control. This list is basically 150cc though based, since, you know, 200cc comes once every like 30 races. But Rainbow Road, like, it's a cool idea having it in a space station, but the road doesn't really feel very rainbowy. Like, am I the only one that feels that way? It feels more like, even just look at the picture, it's basically just yellow. Like, I don't know, it's just kinda there. It doesn't feel like a Rainbow Road, it just feels like another course. And for a staple of the series that's so iconic, I feel like this one let me down pretty hard. Now we return to some tour tracks, and we got Bangkok Rush. This course at least has a cool setting and some pretty cool gameplay, and not terribly designed blind turns. Still has some, but they're a little bit more manageable. So it's gonna get C tier. It's a pretty okay track. Nothing that excites me. And now we've got another very, very popular course. We got High Roll Circuit. High Roll Circuit, you know, it's a pretty cool track. Like, we're starting to get into some pretty good tracks. These are just the ones I don't really care for. And this is another very, very popular one. You know, it's got some pretty cool shortcuts, and it's a pretty well-designed course. I just never really cared for the Legend of Zelda series in general, so I don't feel the same attachment to it as some of the other fans of the game, but, you know, it's a nice C tier. Now we got a classic Royal Raceway. This is one of the ways you do a regular style racing track. This one at least is got a cool setting, some unique gameplay, but at the end of the day, it is a pretty basic track. So it is getting a C tier placement. And now we get Boo Lake. Just a pretty generic ghost-themed course. There's a different ghost-themed course that is going to be quite higher on the list than this one. But it's still a pretty good track. So I can't give it too much hate. It's, you know, just a pretty generic boot course. What the hell is Twisted Mansion? List. Alright. Continuing in the C tier with this gauntlet, we got Ice Outpost. It's a pretty cool design track. I like going inside like the ice mountain, but there are some way better wintry themed tracks in this game. You know, the gameplay is kind of basic. There's some pretty cool shortcuts here and there, but it is a pretty front-running heavy track, which comes with its benefits and its downside. So it's gonna get a nice comfortable C tier spot. And now we've got Riverside Park. I like the way this track looks. Pretty good design. But, you know, nothing that really wows me. Which is basically what this whole tier is. Other than some random vendettas here and there. So this is kind of just another track that is lumped in with the rest of them. Nothing spectacular, but nothing bad I could say about it. And the little walking piranha plants are funny. So it's gonna get a C tier. Now we got the first course of the game, Mario Kart Stadium. This is a pretty good first track, and I think I would like it significantly less if it was during the daytime. I think the nighttime tracks are so much more fun. You can see all these bright lights. I really like the motion glider tech at the end of the course that I will never have the balls to go for. I think that's so cool. Like, just little stuff like that. Even though that was most certainly unintentional, doesn't take away from the fact that it's in the game. It's a solid track. The song kind of hits, so that's definitely elevating it a bit. Pretty solid first track of the game. Nice C tier. And now we have the other big haunted theme track, Twisted Mansion. If there's one track that has grown on me quite a bit over the course of the game, it is this one. Twisted Mansion is a solid track. If you asked me a month ago, I would have put it like here somewhere. But, you know, it is one of the cooler looking courses in the game. Even if the gameplay can be kinda iffy and whatever-ish, like, there are some really cool looking parts. I really like the underwater section with like the bonefish things. That's cool. And when you exit the water section, how half of it is like still submerged in the water. Like, little things like that are what have brought my opinion of this course higher. And, you know, ask me again in a couple months and it might be a B tier track. Like, I think this one's only on the rise for me. Pretty good track. And now we have Wario Stadium. This was a solid track on the DS, and it's a pretty okay track on the Switch. It is like one of the tracks like Moon Meadows that has a really cool graphical element, but I just feel like there's like too much. It's kind of like a much less, like, what's the word I'm looking for? A much less polarizing version of Excite Bike Arena. There's a lot of just parts that are like kind of all boosty, tricky, and stuff, but it's not the entire course. So it's a pretty solid track, nice seats here, and a very similar reason for the next track being in C tier, which is Mute City. Very similar to Wario Stadium, just too much boost panels, which, like, I get it, the F-Zero theme tracks, they want you to go fast. The other one, spoiler, is way higher on the list, but this one is just too repetitive. The gliding shortcut at the end is cool, and the saxophone will never not be a pleasure to hear, but it is just a pretty mid track. And now we have Tick-Tock Clock, or as I like to call it, Tick-Tock Cock, because this course will randomly just cock you. It is one of the most ambitious design choices, I would say, for a track, but you know, it's a pretty good course. It doesn't wow me. I think the DS version is like way cooler, but you know, it's Tick-Tock Clock. Like, I can't put it any lower than this. It's a pretty iconic course, I would say, but nothing that really, like, that has like an aspect that I really like. That's what I'm trying to say. Alright, Wildwoods is next. This is another very popular course. I don't know why. There we go. It is another very popular course. It is cool, like, but again, kind of similar to Wario Stadium, but like too much boost panels. Like, especially towards the end, like going down the river fast, right into these boost panels, and then hoping you have a mushroom for the shortcut. Like, I think the gameplay, it has its bright spots, but it also has some pretty shit spots. So it is going to round out at C tier and the 45th best track in the game. And now, DK Jungle is next. And this course, you know, it's cool. It's another very cool design track, but the gameplay to me is pretty lackluster. Like, I don't know, there's nothing about it that's really exciting other than trying to super boost on the flower. Like, that's always fun. And I don't know, I feel like you'll just randomly get like cucked at the end trying to go for like the slightly faster route on the last turn. So I don't know. And the frogs, I swear, those things are like the green shells. They have smart hopping. They'll just jump into your car and they'll spin you out. Like, but if you get a lead on this track, you're just gone. So it's a C tier. And now we have a much cooler dessert-themed track, Sky High Sunday. This course is quite a bit cooler to me than Sweet Sweet Canyon. It's actually a joy to drive. The gameplay's pretty fun. You're kind of just going all over the place, doing it the right way, unlike Yoshi Valley. But, you know, there's nothing that wows me about it. But this one does have decent gameplay. We're starting to get towards the end of this tier, so it's starting to ramp up. Still wouldn't really pick it though if it was on the roulette wheel. And now we have a course that has disappointed me tremendously, and that is Coconut Mall. Man, they did this course dirty. Coconut Mall is one of the most iconic Mario Kart tracks in the series, and I heard it best from someone online when they said, in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Coconut Mall, it feels like you're driving through a mall-themed course. But in Mario Kart Wii, it feels like you are driving through a mall. Like, what the hell did they do to the escalators? Like, what the hell? Like, bring back the greatness in the cars. Cars are a joke. Like, everything cool about Coconut Mall is just gone. Like, even the song, it's like so much less cool, and like, it's such a disappointment if you ask me. At the end of the day, though, it's still Coconut Mall, kinda, and like, it would feel disingenuous for me to rank it any lower than near the top of C tier. The second to last C tier track is Electrodrome. Yeah, that's right, it says Electrodrome. How much of you have been calling it Electrodome all your lives? Yeah, I don't know why they call it Electrodrome either, but at the end of the day, it is a pretty damn cool track. Electrodrome, the splitting paths, the whole music changing thing, like, it is a solid track. Very solid. But, you know, I feel like there are some random parts where it's just very basic. Like, you're kind of just driving. And the shortcut at the end is way too gimmicky. Like, you have to do it perfectly, or you're just gonna hit a pipe and you're just gonna get 8th place. So, you know, it's a pretty good track. And the last C tier track is another Mario Kart Tour city theme track, Tokyo Blur. This one doesn't commit the sin of having complete blind turns. But, you know, it's kind of just a basic city theme track. It's one of the better looking ones, but song isn't anything to write home about. It's just kind of like average to slightly above average in like every facet. So top of C tier. And now we are in the latter half of the ranking. If these courses show up on the course picker, and any of these are the other ones, I will pick these courses. These are the courses I would actually willingly select, and we are starting with Shy Guy Falls. Now this is a cool track. Going up a waterfall, going down a waterfall, going through the mountains, the Shy Guys working and like, it is just a good time. The gameplay takes a bit of a step up from a lot of these previous tracks, and you know, the only kind of negative I could say is like the song is kind of just but you know, I can't let that rule everything. So tier. And now we got Ribbon Road, another course I used to hate, but well, not hate, just kind of dislike. Hate's a bit of a strong word, reserved for these courses. But it is cool. Like, when you look at like all the little attention to detail they put in like the decoration of this course, it goes a long way. It is quite a pleasure to drive. I love the Ribbon Road, where you're tricking over and over again. I think the shortcuts at the end are cool, other than the very last one. It's kind of just the basic one, like going up the toys and the little toy Mecha Koopas. It's just nice, and that song can get stuck in your head pretty easily. So yeah, Ribbon Road, a nice B tier. Now we have another course that has grown on me quite a bit, Ninja Hideaway. Yeah, the more I try to look at this course through like a objective lens, the more I like it. It is a very beautiful course. It's got a pretty catchy song, like it's just a bunch of shy guys singing, it feels like, which you can't go wrong with. There's just a couple of gameplay aspects that are really poor that bring it down quite a bit for me. I feel like the ending, like on the roof, like there's a lot of very gimmicky parts, and it's very easy to just take a path and have no idea what you're doing in the beginning. And I also figured out that puddle in the beginning of the course is actually out of bounds, because I landed in it and then the Lakitu had to pick me up. Like, what the hell? Like, no reason that should be a thing, but I can't let those bring it down too much, because everything else about it is very, very good, and a nice B tier. And now we've got Maple Treeway. They didn't do this course as dirty as they did Coconut Mall, but they still did kind of nerf it from the Wii version. But, you know, it still feels like Maple Treeway, and Maple Treeway is a pretty cool course. So, one of the most beautiful design tracks. Like, a lot of the gameplay is still the same. Nice B tier. It's Maple Treeway. It's B tier. We've got Choco Mountain, a course I've always liked. In like every game. I liked it on the N64, I loved it on the DS, and I like it in this game. I feel like this course is just so slept on. Very catchy song. The choconess, it's just so cool. The boulders falling down. Like, I don't know, this course is just cool. It's dope. Like, there's nothing bad about this course. The gameplay can be somewhat simple at times, but sometimes that's good. You don't always need these crazy things going around. But I think Choco Mountain hits a bit of a sweet spot. It's a nice B tier. I like this course. And now we have a track that is hard carried by one particular aspect, and that is London Loop. This course does have some blind turns, and it's a pretty okay looking course, but that song goes so hard that I would have to pick this track just to listen to it. Like, oh my god, the guitar, I didn't even notice it at first. Like, it's dope. Like, listening to the song makes the gameplay a little more bearable. And I can't say that all of it is unbearable. Like, it's actually a pretty cool track outside of it. But, oh my god, listen to that song, like, after you watch this video. It is a banger. It is one of the coolest Mario Kart songs I've ever heard. And now we have Wario's Gold Mine. Wherever it is, it's literally right there. You know, I do have mixed feelings about how they changed the minecarts. On one aspect, I liked how the minecarts would just basically kill you. But there's another part of me that makes it less rage-inducing to have it be, you know, friendly and give you a boost. So, because Wario's Gold Mine on the Wii, man, that course could just make you rage. In this version, you don't have to really worry about the bats either. It's just Wario's Gold Mine still, for the most part. It still feels pretty similar. And you know what? That's a solid track. It is a B tier track. And now we've got Sherbet Land. A pretty big classic for me. I like this course a lot. Song hits different. You know, I like the gameplay. I like going the shortcut path and ending up like on the roof almost of the ice cave. And I like the addition of the underwater part at the end, even if it is slower. Like, it's cool. Like basically driving on an ice skating rink with these giant dopey looking ice pillar things. Like, what's not to like, man? It is dope. And now we have Mushroom Gorge. Where am I? There we go. This course feels basically the same as the Wii version. Still do the gap jump. It's still Mushroom Gorge. Like, you know, it's a very unique course. Even if the gameplay isn't my favorite, you know, just bouncing on mushrooms over and over again, it's still Mushroom Gorge. It is still a dope course. Still got that iconic soundtrack. And, you know, it's Mushroom Gorge. Nice beats here. And now we have entered the top 30 courses. And we got New York Minute. As a New Yorker, this course did not disappoint. Very, very pretty track. I love the music. Like, it's nice and relaxing. Feels like a New York night. Central Park. Driving through, nice little addition. Like, this one is just one that hits home for me. Someone who doesn't live too far away from Manhattan. It's a dope course. The blind turns are more forgiving on this course as well. You know, it is one of the best city-themed Mario Kart Tour tracks. However, there are two that are better, which we will get to later. Music Park is next, and this course is just so cool. The pianos, like the xylophone, the xylophones, just driving on them and hearing like a whole scale drifting on it. Like, the giant music notes are so funny. The way they just bounce and get angry, like, what the, it's so cool. Like, this course is just so funny. It's got its own charm. It is a dope course. Music Park is a goated track. Nice beats here, though. And now we have reached the second best Mario Kart Tour city track, Sydney Spirit. This course is just cool. You know, you just got so much going on. You're driving through all these cool things, like the Opera House. The song is kind of blasting. It's just a very solid course. Has some blind turns though, so it's gotta go down a little bit. So, you know, it's a very nice course. I love this track. It is a easy pick for me, if it's the best thing available. And now we've got Toad Harbor. Very underrated course, if you ask me. I think this course is just so cool. The music is very cheery. Like, it really does just feel like you are, like, out by a pier. Out by a harbor in a city. Like, I think they did a good job. Like, gameplay isn't too annoying. It's a bit straightforward, which brings it down a little bit. But, you know, it's a nice track. It is a nice breather. You gotta love Toad Harbor. And the last B-tier track is Thwomp Ruins. It's a solid course. Like, there's nothing about it that really brings it up to an A tier, but it is definitely the best track I've discussed so far. It's just so cool. That song is pretty damn good. You know, it's just a temple-themed track. Nothing crazy. Very solid course. Top of A tier. 26th best track. And now we are in the A tier. These courses will get a reaction out of me if I see them on the screen, so we gotta go start off with Baby Park. One of the most iconic tracks in the game. It is so simple that it is chaos. It is not nearly as chaotic as the Double Dash version, with all the giant items covering the entire track, but still, very easy to dick on people on this course, and sometimes you gotta love it. It's Baby Park. I cannot put it any lower than this, a 7-lap track, because of how basic it is. Like, in this case, the basicness is a good thing. And how can you not, like, bop a little bit to that beat, man, that song. Ooh. Easy A tier. And now we got Rock Mountain. Man, that music hits hard. It was even better on Mario Kart 7, but still, this course is just such a cool design. Like, going like down the mountain on the glider. I just feel like the gliding section's a little too long, but you know, it's Rock Mountain. This course is so cool. Going up the mountain at the end with the boulders falling, like, that's so cool. It's a pretty simple mountain theme track, but it's a goodie. Nice A tier for Rock Mountain. Now we got Piranha Plant Slide. This course, whoa, I did not mean to do that. This course is dope. Just roaming through like the sewers with the piranha plants. Like, what the? It's Mario Kart. We need more courses like this. Like, nothing makes sense, and I love it. Like, this is what Mario Kart's about. Piranha plants in the sewers trying to eat you, and then you come out and you run through the shortcut at the end. Like, it's a good course. Like, very, very dope. It's Piranha Plant Slide. Nice A tier. And now we've got Toad Circuit. I don't know, man. This is one of the best basic Mario Circuit style tracks the series has seen. It is so... the Toad balloons are so pretty. Like, the whole aesthetic and the song kind of carry it pretty hard. Having a little gliding section, like, why not? Like, it's just a special breed of its kind, and one I really adore. So, Toad Circuit, very solid course, and one that I feel like a lot of people will disagree with me on, but I don't care, fight me. I like this course. It is Toad Circuit. And now we've got Snowland. Yeah, this is another pretty old school track, and they just made it dope. Like, it's a nice course. Song is very catchy. Gameplay is fun. You know, going around the ice, and the shortcut at the end is cool. Like, scaling up a bridge, like, what the hell? It's got a lot of charm, if you ask me. It's basic, but like Toad Circuit, it's got a nice charm. Pretty easy A tier spot for a Snowland. Good course. And now we enter the top 20 tracks, and we start with Waluigi Stadium. Yeah, this course is good, man. Every game, like, this course is always solid, and they made the song even catchier. Like, and I do like the new aesthetic they went for, like, the more dirt themed. Like, the other ones were more of like a dusty kind of feel, but this one, it just looks cool, man. And the tires, like, it was a touch I never knew I needed. Like, of course, good gameplay all around. Everything feels fair for the most part. Like, if you mess up, that's just on you. It's a very good track. Waluigi Stadium. And now we've got Neo Bowser City. I mean, this has got to be one of the most gorgeous design tracks the series has ever seen, man. Like, as someone who just loves the bright lights of a city, this track is just heaven. The gameplay can feel a little unfair, but you know what? I feel like this course was meant to be a little challenging, and I respect it for that. Because there do need to be harder tracks in the game. because if you know how to drive this course, you will just be gone. Like, it is a dope track. That song, like, never gets old. Like, just watching Bowser on the giant light screens on the buildings, like, what the hell, man? It's just such a cool course. And you know what? The rain also just adds a fun touch. Like, why not? Neo Bowser City, pretty easy A tier. And now we got Waluigi Pinball, another iconic course. But goddamn, fuck the end of this track. Oh my god, the pinball section is cancer in this game. It is so easy for a pinball to just get knocked in your face. There was one clip I had where the pinball hit me in the item box at the same time, but it hit the item box technically right before it hit me, so it broke the item box and hit me, and then I was stranded. Like, what? But it's Waluigi Pinball, man. It's such a cool design track. Even if they did nerf the song a little bit, it's still just a staple of the series. Very dope course. It'd be kind of hard for anyone to disagree on me with this one, man. Good course. Rumble Volcano is next. Another just great track. It doesn't have as much jank as it does in the Wii version, which makes it feel more complete. So I feel like in Mario Kart Wii, the course was too reliant on the shortcuts that skip a quarter of the track. But you're forced to go through it all this time around. And it is a dope course. Just this anarchy, volcano themed track with the song feeling all intense. Great gameplay. Everything about it is great. Love Rumble Volcano. A tier. Now we have 2 spots to go in A tier, but 3 Rainbow Road tracks to go. 2 of them are in A tier, 1 of them is in S tier. The first of the great Rainbow Road tracks to be gone from the list is 3DS Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 7's Rainbow Road has to be like the coolest designed Rainbow Road the series has ever seen. Very, very cool. Going on the rings of Saturn and stuff. You know, in this game, it's still very good. Still blasting that music. Got a lot going for it. I don't know why they made the last lap so short, though. Like, the last lap, it's kind of just the gliding section and then, like, a turn. So, it's a little weird, but it is still a very, very cool course. Like, come on. It's 3DS Rainbow Road. Pretty damn good course. Top of A tier. And the other track joining it in A tier of the Rainbow Roads is SNES Rainbow Road. This is a pretty basic yet challenging course. Music, top tier. It's just a fun time. The thwomps shaking the course. Everyone bumping each other off. Like, it's just chaos every single time this track ensues. I love it. It's a very iconic track for me in this game. But it's a pretty basic course, so I can't quite put it in S tier. So, we'll start with N64 Rainbow Road as the first S tier track. Come on, man. This course is so cool. I think they did a great job making it 1 lap. Even if it is very short, it is such a pleasure to ride, and they made the song good still. All the fireworks of all the characters. Like, come on. This course is so dope. The train throws coins. Like, they just put so much care and effort into this track. It cannot be any lower than S tier. Oh my god, it's one of the best in this game. And this is full personal bias for me, but Toad's Turnpike is also S tier. I love this course. Fight me. It's a nighttime highway themed track, and you know what? You do have those nights where driving on a highway, it's late, you're kind of just vibing, and you just feel that all when you're driving on this course. Try not to get hit by these cars. That's not really an issue in real life, for the most part, at nighttime, but I digress. There are lunatics out there. But this course is just such a vibe. It's a pretty chill experience. Love the music. Like, this is just full-fledged bias for me. But I love this course. So, you can fight me all you want. It ain't changing my spot. Just Toad's Turnpike is elite. And I can't wait for Moonview Highway as well. Probably another high-tier track coming in the next wave. And now, we got DK Summit. Yep, they kept everything cool about DK Summit from Mario Kart Wii. Still could do the gap shortcuts. Still a fun experience. Just tricking all these weird, cool turns. Like, it's DK Summit, man. It's such a good track. Like, come on, it's DK Summit. Like, do I need to say much more? Great song, great everything. Easy S tier. Like, come on, this track is just goated. Narrowly missing the top 10 is Dolphin Shoals. Man, the saxophone. I hate how little of the track you have to listen to the saxophone version of the song, because my god, that song slaps. It is so good. Like, obviously I like the gameplay of this track a lot. Like, the underwater part is very cool. Riding on an eel, like, what? And then just surfacing on this cool, like, ocean rock style road. It is a dope course. And another one where I felt like a lot of care went into it. I know a lot of people could find the gameplay annoying, and you know what? It can be annoying. But man, everything about this course, other than that, is just, oh, so good. S tier. And now, we are in the top 10, and we are starting with Cheeseland. This course is how you do a desert-themed track. My god, this song slaps so hard. My god, more saxophone. Like, you do tricks through cheese holes. Like, what? It's so cool. The chain chomp adds a nice character. Even if the ending shortcut is pretty damn broken, this course is just such a vibe. It's so fun. So pretty. It's a land of cheese. Like, need I say more? Goated course. And we got Shroom Ridge next. My god, another just good song, good track. Like, it's a simple, like, main road themed course. And, you know, it's dope. Like, nothing, like, extremely crazy, but it does everything very well. Like, everything about this track to me is like a 7.5 or greater out of 10. If the gameplay is even just a little simple, but my god, I love this course. It's another pretty biased pick, along with another track in a minute, but ooh, yeah, this track is dope. And now we got Big Blue. Look at the gap between Big Blue and Mute City. Big Blue is number 7 on the list, and Mute City is number 47. This F-Zero track is superior. The final lap song for this track is so good. It just makes you feel like you're in the home stretch. You go fast on this course, but it's not repetitive. You're going in the water, like, you're just zooming through these chambers with the fast roads and slow roads. Like, it is such a good course. There's so many cool shortcuts and tech on this track. So much great is in this course. Like, it is a phenomenal track. There's just a couple that are a little better, in my opinion, but not much thought went into this one being in the top 10. Great track. Great track. And now we have another very biased pick. Sky Garden. Sky Garden is elite. Oh my god. Sky Garden is elite. This track, amazing song. So pretty. I love the road design now on this course. It was still great like the other versions, but it just looks amazing in this game. Like, it is just a gorgeous and fun time racing on this course. Like, come on, man. This track is just amazing. Now you see there's 6 tracks left. As I forgot to rank one, and it happens to be in C tier. Sorry, Yoshi Circuit. You're actually supposed to be right above Yoshi's Island. I kind of just skipped over you since you both said Yoshi's. You know, just another generic Yoshi... Not Yoshi, another generic racetrack course, but it's in the shape of Yoshi. It's dope. Like, it's a solid track, but nothing crazy. Alright, now back to talking about goated courses. I know a lot of people actually like Yoshi Circuit, I get it, but not my favorite. 5th place, Mount Wario. This has to be one of the most, like, ambitious and cool designs the series has ever seen. This track is so cool. Like, oh my god, you start at the top of a mountain, and you spend the entire time going down, going through ice roads to an indoor, like, cavern with ice rapids, and then you go through like a ski like loft thing, and then you go down a slope through woods and down a ski slope. You finish in a ski winner's circle. What? This track is so cool. The final lap music just makes it feel like your journey has been complete. This track is fucking amazing. Like, it is probably my favorite designed course, like, ever. It is so good. Mount Wario, phenomenal. Number 4, Super Bell Subway. I love this track. Super Bell Subway, 4th place. Sunshine Airport, 77th? Yeah, this is how you do a transportation area course. Because you are driving with fucking subways. The subway station actually looks like a fucking subway station. The song is fucking amazing in both parts. The underground part, it's more relaxed and like methodical, and the top part is just a fucking jam. I love this course. It's quite a bit of bias for me. But man, this course is fucking phenomenal, man. Like, and I like that it's a bit challenging. Like, you gotta know what you're fucking doing. Once you do know what you're fucking doing, this course is fun as shit. S tier. Coming in at... Oh, I skipped one again. DS Mario Circuit was supposed to go above Shroom Ridge, but still an elite course. DS Mario Circuit is incredible. This is how you do a Mario Circuit. You have piranha plants shooting fire at you. You have Goombas in the road. a phenomenal song. It's just a great time. DS Mario Circuit is crazy. Like, it still feels like a Mario Circuit, but it's cool. Like, it's a very good course. Another kind of biased one, but like all three of these are pretty biased because I loved them on the DS and still love them in this game. But man, yeah, dope courses. But now we're in the top three. So Mount Wario is number 5, Super Bell Subway is number 4, and number 3 is Bowser's Castle. Ooh, this is hands down my favorite Bowser Castle in the series. Bowser standing in lava, punching the track, making it rumble. What? It is so cool! You have lasers being shot from the fucking walls when you first go into the castle. The music is fucking fire! It is a phenomenal track through and through. It feels intimidating. The song feels intimidating yet funky and fun. Like, and then you head out of the castle and it's just like a hell rumble volcano style area. It is great. I love this course. Favorite course from base Mario Kart 8. Easily. Bowser Castle. We've got 2 tracks left. Both of these are phenomenal. Number 2 is my favorite track from the Wii U's DLC, Dragon Driftway. Oh my god, this course is amazing. Where do I even begin? You're driving through like a Chinese dragon festival area on dragons that have all these curvy, cool gameplay parts. The track looks amazing. The song is amazing. This track is just dope. There's not a single part of it that feels boring. Everything is just a pleasure. So many like cool shortcuts. Like, oh my god. This track is so good. It could be a little challenging on like 200, but you know what? That adds to it. It is so cool. Oh my god, I love this course. Like, oh my lord. It, like, such a cool design. Easy top tier. Number 2 in the game. And as you can see, there is only one spot left. And I was ranting about a lot of these city tour tracks, yet Singapore Speedway is my favorite track in the fucking series. This course is so perfect. Oh my god, it is probably the most gorgeous fucking track I've ever seen in my life. You drive on a rooftop pool. That is like the start of the course. You get launched onto a rooftop pool with the view of the gorgeous city at nighttime. The song is so fucking good. Oh my god, it's a fucking party. And then you ascend back in the streets. The turns are not blind. You go through Chinatown and the song changes and it's still good. And then there's fireworks and everything. You're getting launched to all these things. It is beautiful. Like, oh my god. I can make like an entire video on why I love this course. It does not skip a fucking beat. And this track does everything right. Every aspect is a 10 out of 10. The gameplay is never boring, it's always engaging. The music is some of the best I've ever heard in the series. The aesthetic is literally like a 30 million out of 10. Like, that might even be an understatement. It is fucking gorgeous. Just look at the picture compared to all these other pictures. You have a fucking gorgeous statue, fountain, shooting water, and look at the buildings, man. Singapore Speedway. A track I never would have expected to be good when I first looked at it. I'm like, oh, fuck, another city tour track? And then it just blew me away. The second I played this track, I was already having thoughts that it might be my favorite ever. And a couple months later, I can safely say, yeah. Like, oh my god. Singapore Speedway, phenomenal. Dragon Drift Wave, phenomenal. Bowser's Castle, phenomenal. Super Bell Subway, phenomenal. Mount Wario is what DK Summit wants to be. And DK Summit is an S tier. Like, these tracks are so good. These tracks are still great. These tracks are good. These tracks are kind of like, eh. These tracks are, eh. And these tracks are, fuck you! So, that is my list of ranking all 80 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tracks before Wave 5 comes out on the 12th. You know, some spots are always subject to change, but as of right now, this is the list. So, thank you for watching me rant and do the opposite about these tracks. Yeah, I'm looking to do more tier lists in the future. Started with a pretty ambitious one, so this obviously took quite a bit of time to think about. So, yeah. See y'all in the next video.